Welcome in to the Saturday show for whatever it's worth called for now. Hopefully this will be a nice little half-hour show to help you get over your F&M hangover or perhaps just kill some time during the week. But before we get started, we've got to get some sponsorship junk out of the way. Let's see, I've got the commercial here somewhere. Okay. Today's episode is brought to you in part by belts. Do you have a butt? If you answered yes to this question, then you'll need a belt. Belts come in all shapes and sizes and are available in stores across the country. Belts. We don't want to see your butt crack. All right, well, happy to have you here on this Saturday morning. I think this will be the day that the show exists on for the very near future. It's going to cover a variety of topics, gaming related. Most often it's going to be Magic the Gathering related or Magic the Gathering adjacent. Let's get into the first segment, a little bit of a fun opening. All right, each week on the show, I'm going to try to do something a little bit different, open something, feature something a little spicy. And this week I have something pretty cool. I have some standard Showdown packs. Now, if you don't know what they are boosters that contain 3 cards. 2 standard legal rares or mythics, as well as 1 foil of any rarity, including, for the sets that it's relevant, a chance to get an invention or expedition. And in this case, the rarity for those things are pumped up a little bit to about 1 in 33. So 1 in every, just under a booster box of these things. Now, these are supposed to be distributed to new players or people who attend standard events, or they have similar packs for buy box promos that might look something like this for Kaladesh. But we're going to, this week, look at Hour of Devastation and just open them. Bought these on YouTube. I don't remember on YouTube. I bought these on eBay. I don't remember how much they were, but let's see what we find in our Hour of Devastation Standard Showdown packs. We have Carrie Zev's Expertise, Eerie Interlude, a Meowchin, and our foil is a Bomat Courier. Oh, and a foil full art, too. That's a nice pull. Let's go to pack number 2. I was going to start collecting these, but I thought they'd be a great addition to the show. Ooh, first pack. We've got an Olivia, who got a Mythic, a Carrie Zev, a Meowton, and a foil Epiphany at the Drown Yard, and a foil Negate. All right, 1 left. Come on, Standard Showdown Hour of Devastation. Colt and Indy are both down here. Colt just jumped up. Let's see. A Locust God. That's what happens when Colt arrives. An Aether Sphere Harvester and a foil Bedlam Reveler. All right, thank you, Colt. Well, that is the Standard Showdown packs, and we'll feature some other interesting things in different segments each week on the show. Let's move on to the next section. The first viewer-involved section of the show is going to be a pretty fun one. It's going to be, what should we name it? Let's think of a rad name that we can all be proud of instead of something lame like The Saturday Show. Submit your ideas in the comment section down below and use the upvote and downvoting system to vote for the ones that you like the best. Now, make sure that, you keep in mind that I'm going to have 3 vetoes, so Beardy McBeardface Show probably isn't going to make the cut. So think about it, keep it short, simple, and memorable, and I really look forward to hearing what you think we should call the show down below. Oh, got to pay some bills here. We've got, let's see. Oh, this one. This is a good organization. Support for this show coming in part by the Rehabilitation Center of Dominaria. Do you have a friend or loved one addicted to cracking packs? Have they abandoned their life's responsibilities and started taking showers in the kitchen sink? Call now. Or Google us. That's Dominaria Rehabilitation Clinic. All right, for the next section of the show, I realized I never got a chance to look at a product that came out recently, and that happens to be Archenemy Nicol Bolas Edition. Now, inside this box, you get 4 60-card decks, a 20-card deck of scheme cards. Now, Archenemy is a multiplayer format. You can play with up to 4 other people or 3 other people and have all sorts of fun. Then you have the Nicol Bolas deck. Basically, you and your friends are teaming up to defeat Nicol Bolas. And I never had a chance really to unbox this. And so I thought, why not put it in the inaugural episode of the new show? So this goes for about 60 bucks MSRP. I see it selling for a lot less. I think Wizards printed a lot of this. But what I like in particular about this product and about their anthology products is that if you want to crack them and play right now, you can. You can find these sorts of things a lot of places, your local game stores, many places online. But then I think they also conveniently go into like your game closet where, yeah, you probably have to know how to play Magic to enjoy it, but it's a different style of play other than just grinding standard or pauper or whatever. And you have some friends over and you can play this, or you can, you know, bring it to a GP to play with people. The game is just 2 to 4 players and only takes about 30 minutes or maybe an hour to finish, depending on how everybody cruises along. But let's take a look at what's in here. Now, these type of spin downs used to be highly sought after. Obviously, they've been in a couple recent sets, so they're not going to be quite as collectible. But as you all know, I collect spin downs, so that will be one. Here we have the envelope. Inside this envelope is all of your deck boxes for each of the decks. You have Nissa, Chandra Nalaar, Gideon Jura, and Nicol Bolas. I like that touch with that. And then we have these scheme cards. Because I have willed it. And so schemes affect the game state, right? So let's look at a random example. That's why you get, it's like 3-on-1, right? My forces are innumerable. An ongoing scheme remains face up until it's abandoned. At the beginning of your end step, create a 3/3 black horror creature token. At the beginning of your opponent's end step, then sacrifice 2 creatures. If they do, abandon the scheme. Here, how about pay tribute to me? When you set this scheme in motion, each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you control 6 or more lands, each opponent sacrifices another creature. Then we have the Nicol Bolas deck. And they pack the other 3 Planeswalker decks. Here we have Gideon Jura, your tokens, Chandra Pyromance Master, excuse me, and Nissa Worldwaker. Now, would it have been too much to ask to have the Planeswalkers be foil? Maybe, I suppose. But let's take a look at, just take a glance at the decks. Whoa. Started to bend the cards there. And these are, you know, there's nothing random here. Oh, Cruel Ultimatum. You know, a lot of people, that's a nice reprint. A lot of people were hoping there'd be some more expensive reprints in here. But I still think, like, okay, are you going to buy it, open it up, and then make money? No. That's not really the point anyway. But let's put them right in their deck box. Let's see how these things put together. That's not too bad. And it looks like it holds them sleeved, which is really nice. I'm hoping one day to see Wizards, then why not include some sleeves? I know the cost of bulk printing sleeves. It's not much. Let's look at the Gideon Jura deck. My dog just trampling down the stairs. And you can pick with Sun Titan. You can pick which deck you want, and then you take on Nicol Bolas. You can be Nicol Bolas against your friends. It just creates a really fun environment, and I think, obviously, people that like EDH will probably like Archenemy. But Archenemy is probably also not a bad little way to get people into multiplayer formats. It's, you know, it's not EDH, but it's maybe EDH Lite. Do you think it would be obscene to call it EDH Lite? I'm kind of afraid of opening up all these cards because I'm having an issue with my cards curling down here. Drag Tusk, that's a blast from the past. Right now, Colt is harassing Indy. It'd be cool. It would have been cool if they included fetches in here. That's one thing they've just never jumped the gun on doing, like throwing fetches in some product that just didn't need it. You know, all other, I guess you could argue that Khans of Tarkir was pretty great, with or without the fetches. I'm wondering if these deck boxes will then fit back inside. It looks like they will. Yes. So they have nice little slots. Gideon. Nicol Bolas goes in here. Nissa. I'll show you this in a minute. I just want to kind of go thumb through these quick. It's a fun little product. And a Dualcaster Mage. Inferno Titan. This will be fun. For me, this will be something that I just keep around. And when people come over that play Magic, we can play Magic. When I get sick of, you know, whatever is going on, maybe sick of playing Standard or sick of drafting, this is a nice casual way to play Magic, in my opinion. But for those of you out there who purchased this, what do you think of it? How does it play? I watched a few videos on it. I do like how everything kind of folds up nice and neat in here. You just kind of cram everything back in. We've got the token spot. We've got spot for the schemes. And the deck. There we go. Everything fits back in nice and easy peasy. You don't need the envelope anymore. And that is what Archenemy Nicol Bolas looks like. All right, well, let's move into the poll section of the show. Now, each week, I want to do a poll, and I want it to be relevant to maybe what's going on at that time or whatever might be topical so that we can all participate together. And then the following week's show, I'm going to share what all the results were. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. And, of course, I'll take your suggestions for the next poll in the comment section down below. With this weekend's Pro Tour Kyoto going on, I want to ask a few questions about, do you watch the Pro Tour on Twitch? Do you watch videos later? Why do you watch it? What sort of things are you looking forward to? What sort of things don't you like? The whole survey will take you maybe a minute and a half. And I've left a link in the description below. Then stay tuned next week where I'll share everybody's responses and see if we can form any themes that, you know, from the data. I think that's always fun, and I look forward to it. It's a SurveyMonkey, link in the description below. All right, well, we got to pay some bills here. Here we have commercial number 3. Our third and final commercial spot actually remains open. So feel free to submit your best ideas in the comment section down below. And if it's good enough, it'll make the show. So as you all know, I've never really been one to review gear. But if you follow the channel, you know I was sent a giant box full of gear. And I figured, why not open it up, take a look at it, and give you kind of a real brief overview. There are channels that review this sort of thing much better than I do. So I can't really give you a great, is it worth it type analysis. But I can give you, hey, this is what it looks like, and here are my impressions. So today, we're going to look at the Ultimate Guard Twin Flip and Tray Xenoskin case. This holds up to 160 double-sleeved cards. I like that they call that out. And they also tell you, or 200 single-sleeved. It has 3 removable trays, fully independent access to each card. It's got the Xenoskin, that's marketing wonk. High-class microfiber, that seems like a nice touch. 5 magnets for strong closure. Let's take a look at this. Oh, here's some better pictures with product actually in it. This thing seems, I mean, this is like way too nice for me. I still like to just keep my stuff in plastic bags, Ziploc bags, you know? Or a crummy deck box in my pocket. However, man, this is nice. The first thing that jumps out at me is it just feels like absurd high quality. It's got these two sections. Wow, those magnets are strong. I don't love that they're very obvious here. Oh, sorry. But there's no joke. They're very strong. They're not going to open like on their own. I could see this getting caught, so you just want to probably be careful. But oh, that's nice. That's a nice touch. So the middle the middle section opens. You can keep your die in here, and then you open each one of these, and you've got your deck areas. Let's see if... Yeah, they're both the same. So you've got your room for 200 double, or 160 double sleeved. So that's a full deck plus a sideboard. That's a commander deck with a bunch of tokens. I mean, this is a nice kind of like everything you're going to need deck box. And so your deck goes right in here and then goes in like that. So then when you need to pull your deck out, it just slides right out like that. That's pretty nice. I gotta say, Ultimate Guard, you know, I'm sure you're on the higher end of the price spectrum, but if you can swing it, this thing looks really nice. And I'm gonna try to take a look at a little bit of each of their merch on each show, and then I'll be giving away some of it because I don't need this nice stuff. I'll continue to use sandwich bags for my decks. But I thought I would show you this, so at least if this is something you thought about picking up, there is, I mean, this is rigid too. Very rigid. Can't say, I mean, you could gripe about the price, and that's about it. It doesn't seem like, you know, it seems really high quality to me. The seams are strong. I like how everything can be opened independently. I mean, what am I going to say about a deck box? I'm not going to talk about it for 20 minutes. But seems nice to me. Oh, it's got the little, you can see the little magnet there. So each magnet, you know, those might get worn out and that might kind of get annoying, but I don't really care what it's going to look like internally here as long as it keeps my cards in there without falling out. So that is the Doubler Flip and Tray deck case. Check it out. So here's a little part that I want to call, well, I don't really want to name any individual section, but this could be called the Beard Bloviates. And it's about covering topics that maybe aren't worthy or juicy enough to cover an entire video, but certainly something I want to weigh in on. So Evan Irwin retweeted something about the Overwatch League, about players seeking... they want Overwatch League players to get $50,000 a year, health insurance, 401ks, and bonuses. And since, you know, it's always kind of been a dream of Wizards to be an esport, it's something they're pushing so hard. It's something I think in early August here, on August 3rd or 4th, we're going to get a first kind of look at Magic Digital Next. And if you compare that to what Magic Pros make, it's almost, you know, it's hard to compare. And I don't know, you know, certainly travel is an issue. I don't know who would be paying for that in these cases, but I thought it just kind of an interesting conversation to have. And I'm wondering if I'm just totally off base here. It's my opinion that Magic is just too boring to be a popular esport. I'm certainly open to being wrong, but I mean boring, and it's just boring to watch for fringe players. I think watching streams are like for really hardcore competitive players. Now, my own Twitch stream isn't really full of hardcore competitive players, but it's not like 20,000 people are watching. And so I think Wizards of the Coast keeps looking at what Blizzard is doing, or what like Player Unknown Battlegrounds going to do, what all these other esports, Rocket League, what are they all doing, and they want a piece of that, which I completely understand. However, it's my opinion that it's not the interface that keeps Wizards, Magic the Gathering streamers from being, really popular. While the interface is a problem, I think if you look at the most popular streamers have the best personalities, for the most part. Maybe that's not true with some players where they're just very, very, very good, but you can also be very popular by having a great personality. And even the biggest personalities in the Magic game that stream Magic get fractions of the audience that people that play Rocket League or Overwatch do. And if you just look at the free market, like the free market has decided that they don't want to watch Magic the Gathering online. Now, I think they've made some admirable strides forward this year with partnering with Twitch, and I think there are more eyes on the game in terms of streaming than ever, and that's awesome. But it's still such a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. And in comparison to these mega, $250, $500 million online gaming industries where you have NBA players investing in esports teams, it's just not going to be like that, in my opinion. And it's not a bad thing. I think Magic can have a fine following online, but it's just not really going to appeal to... I mean, anybody who doesn't play Rocket League could actually get into Rocket League. They understand the game. You score a goal, right? Magic, you're just not going to watch it unless you play the game. So that gives us a maximum pool of like 20 million players worldwide. And if you look at the population of Magic players that are interested even in online content, you look at all the people that they might have on Twitch versus all the people that they might have on like YouTube, us YouTubers, pretty small in comparison. Most videos get the biggest, most popular videos will get 30, 40,000 views over the period of a week or so, maybe 50,000 if it's a really good one. And it's just like Hearthstone deck techs get hundreds of thousands of views, and VODs from streams get hundreds of thousands of views. And even like games like Pokemon are just much larger than Magic the Gathering. And it's not because the game isn't popular, it's because it just doesn't lend itself well to online, in my opinion. And even if Hasbro puts out this shiny new toy with Magic Digital next, it's not going to change the game. It's just not going... I think they would have a better chance of having some sort of, their MMO being popular, or, people like playing competitive Puzzle Quest than people playing Magic. Now, the best Magic players in the world aren't exactly very entertaining in most cases, and that's hurting the streaming culture as well. The best Magic players out there really aren't that charismatic, and that's not a dig on them. It's just the reality of it. Watch them, listen to them talk, and that's going to hold back. And we can bring in people like Amaz to play, and I heard he did pretty good in Constructed at the Pro Tour today, and not great in Draft, which I guess I didn't really expect, because I thought he was pretty good at drafting. But I just don't see a large percentage of Hearthstone people being like, hey, I'm going to watch Magic instead of Hearthstone. It just, in my opinion, doesn't lend itself to that. But the point of this is to get the discussion going, and what I'm curious about is what you think. Will Magic ever really be a legitimate esport? Does it even have a chance, or is it dead on arrival? Hey, well, that concludes our Saturday show as currently named. I hope you enjoyed the variety of topics, and if you want anything in specific discussed on following shows or additional segments, I would love to get your comments in the comment section down below. And to entice you, I'm going to pick one winner, one random winner from the comment section, and display their name on next week's show to win this sweet Flippin' Tray mat case that I got from the awesome people at Ultimate Guard. Do you have a sweet playmat that needs a little bit of protecting, or do you just want to show the plebs what it's all about? Leave a comment down below. I'm going to be picking a random winner, and I'll mail this Ultimate Guard Flippin' Tray mat case to one lucky winner. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.